Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
She's helping people all over the universe essentially feel better and move their lives forward. I'm proof of that. She had me a week ago, and I'm going to talk about that. I'm talking about the Reiki session we had with Annie Baker Atwood, and she's back today. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great. I'm doing great. redbootsreiki.com is your website. And yeah, so I had a virtual Reiki session with you. Let's call it a mini session. Got to tell you, afterwards, I felt calmer, I guess lighter, like baggage lifted.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that was leading into a busy Labor Day weekend where there was a lot going on, but I felt I had a grip on things. It wasn't all like, oh God, I'm going to clean the house, do this, do that. It seemed to, after the session, like the dust settled a little bit, in terms of life. Did people tell you that?
Yes. Yes. I get a lot of, I slept better. My life just went more easily, flowed smoothly, as I hear a lot of, feeling lighter and just integrated, I guess is a word that I get.
I got to think about that word to connect it to my feelings. So I'm going to work on that. But yeah, we did it virtually. Like there was like we're doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah. This stuff works.
It does. It does. And it's been working for many, many years, if not centuries. It's a shame it's all, 2022 and people are finally picking up on it. It's been, well, I'm one of those people for about a year now. But yeah, super cool. So that's one thing we wanted to mention today, that that session very, very beneficial that I had.
Yes. And that was a narrated session because I wanted to explain what I was doing. When you meet with me just individually, not on, not so we're capturing it. Typically I stay completely silent and just, especially if you're in my studio, you just melt into the table.
Well, I thank you for not remaining silent while we were doing it like this, because I would have been out cold. I felt myself, and that's not the goal to make you sleep during a Reiki session, but you're so calm and relaxed. I felt myself like, all right, well, we're actually doing a broadcast here, so stay with us. Stay with us.
Right. Don't lose focus. Don't lose
I'm
focus.
gonna do it. I mean, you're doing all the work. I'm just sitting there, doing nothing. But
and you know what? It's not work for me. That's one of the things I really, really want to emphasize is initially, like going back about 20 years, if you were an energy healer, you were kind of exchanging your good energy out for their cloudy energy, just, exchanging it out. And then it was up to you to dissipate the cloudy energy. And with Reiki, I am simply the power cord, the charging cord. I don't absorb any of your energy. It's not like it can, clog back up. I don't lose battery power. I'm not a battery. I'm just charging your batteries.
Gotcha. I can't imagine if you were picking up on somebody's energy with all the people that you work with. How would you move life forward? I mean, we got so much going on. Your baggage.
Well, yeah, it's really interesting. Before I learned about energy work, it would get stuck on me. It was like sticky on me, and I would get really overwhelmed with other people's energy. And as one little girl put it, so they got full of your good and you got full of their ick. Like, yes, that's about what used to happen. And so I'm really clear when I'm working with, especially some of my younger cuties who really are so curious about this, that you're going to keep your energy clean by keeping your aura clean and making sure that you're not taking on everybody else's pain. You can acknowledge their pain, but it's not up to you to take it on.
Is it true that you have to, Annie, get rid of the negative energy before you can put the good stuff in?
Yes. Similar to if you're going to take a bath, you want a clean bathtub to fill up.
Okay.
So you want to get rid of all of or drain the energy that is no longer serving you or feels too charged. And we would do it every day, several times a day in the classroom. And you put your hands up and you spin and you just drain it out like you are lifting a drain up in a tub. And remember those little whirlpool things that go down the tub?
Yeah.
That's how I teach the children to imagine it.
Yeah. When you're draining the tub, eventually it goes.
Yeah.
Right? Okay.
Yeah. And that used to scare me when I was 3. That was just such a terrifying thing. And now I use that image like, yeah, that's what's happening. And then once you have cleared it, you can energize. And that's also similar for if you're having any limiting beliefs. It's much more effective if you acknowledge what it is you want to stop and then say what you want to add. But some people just say, oh, I'm going to be wealthy. Oh, I'm going to be wealthy as an affirmation, but they haven't taken out the, you have to, tap around your ear, your right ear, taken out what the block is. So keep that in mind when you're adding anything. So if you wanted to say, switch up your health regime, you would need to say, I no longer, eat food that does not suit my system or serve my metabolism, however you want to say it, because there's no good or bad food. It just serves your metabolism or it doesn't. So you want to remove, what you were doing and then put in, I eat food that serves my metabolism. That's a good word to say.
On the right side, you're tapping, and there's a name for that.
It's not the EFT tapping.
Okay.
It's just your third eye is here. And so that's your way that you're going to recognize, on this side of the brain, you're going to take out what it is that you were doing. And then on this side of the brain, you're going to put in what it is you want to do.
The takeout side is which side, left or right?
My right.
It's your right side. So as you affirm to remove something, you tap.
Yep. You tap around your ear. And you have to tap pretty hard. It's not, don't like knock yourself out, but it's really just dislodging those patterns of, say, I love potato chips, reaching for potato chips, which on, a 5 time a day basis is not serving my metabolism. So you can be pretty specific or you can be more general. And then you say what it is you do want to do. But a lot of the practice of making affirmations skips that first step. And so you're just adding hot water to a tepid bath water and thinking you're going to have fresh hot water. You're not.
Well, like we said with the bathtub analogy, there's only so much you can fit in the bathtub. So you got to get rid of some of the, let's say, excess or maybe dirty bath water so you can put the better stuff in.
Right.
It can only hold so much. You can only hold so much.
Right.
I want to talk about karma today. Can we do that?
Yeah, let's talk about that. Karma gets a bad rap. Karma's a, witch with a capital B. And here's the thing. That's not actually true, but it is kind of true. So you need to think about karma as a lesson that you're supposed to learn. And once you learn it, you're no longer plagued by that. So here's how I teach this. All right. So anybody who is going off to college, you have to take all these prerequisite general classes that they sign you up for. You didn't sign up for that class, but you have to take it. Okay. That's karma. It's a class that you have to take that you didn't sign up for. Now, same as when you go through, say you actually do go to class. Yay, we like that. and you come up on your first midterm exam, and say it's an English class and it's going to give you 10 vocabularies, 3 short answers, and 1 essay. Pretty standard. But on the vocabulary, you decide to write out all of the math equations. They're not a wrong answer, but they don't answer the question asked. And so the key to understanding karma is understanding what's being asked so you can respond appropriately. Because the reason karma is a witch with a capital B is because they don't give you a syllabus. It's only through, people like me who look at the Akashic records and really read the tarot cards, dive into what is spirit trying to tell us through meditations, through just understanding what it is. But most people, if they're supposed to give an answer, will give an answer in something that they're very well versed in, but that might not be the question asked. And so
how do you know what the question is?
that takes a lot. See, at age 56, I am just figuring out, what is my life purpose and why? And it turns out to learn how to receive, which I know. I wasn't expecting that one.
How did you find that out?
I was doing a day-long meditation with my Reiki master teacher, and learning how to program crystals to support my life lesson.
And then it kind of came out in the wash, so to speak, or it just came up? Or how did it?
I made a newbie mistake. So if your crystal only has one facet, you set a time limit for what it's programmed for, and I kind of set the time limit for an extra month. So I'm still under that energy.
Oh, this is a whole other podcast that we're.
Yeah, that's a whole other podcast.
I just celebrated a birthday, and I have over here. I got crystals. Let's put it this way.
We love crystals. We love our crystals.
At my birthday party, somebody did a Reiki session on me. I didn't even know they did Reiki. So I'm out in the parking lot of a restaurant. I'm not kidding. I'm standing there in the green. It's like, this is my life. But anyway,
you were attuned. You were open to Reiki energy.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, but people were leaving the party because it was late, and they're like, "Well, wait a minute." And I didn't want to disrespect the Reiki practitioner who's a friend of a friend, but anyway, I digress. Karma, answering the question properly,
answering the question that's asked. Yes, because you wouldn't write down, numerical equations for a vocabulary quiz or test, but that's what we do. And there's a lot of articles on kind of the top five. I mean, you can Google it, top 5 karmic lessons, and then you can kind of just choose what you think, and then tuck it on a little piece of paper underneath your pillow when you go to sleep and see if that really is what it is. And sometimes you may have more than one piece to it. So the first piece that I had to be comfortable with was being seen. And I would always say, oh, I feel so invisible, kind of in the background, which honestly is a very typical feeling. If you're a mom of 3 very busy children, you feel like you're the invisible chauffeur. Mm-hmm. And I loved that stage. It was a lot, to come home and laundry. But it took a while to realize, in past lives, people with my abilities weren't really safe. We kind of, you think about, Salem witch trials. Okay. And so you were better off staying in the background. And it's now, because things have shifted, that people think what I do is really cool.
Yeah. Isn't it funny? That
Yeah.
all was repressed from past lives.
hmm
Piece of you that just, you couldn't bring it to the forefront because you weren't comfortable because of what was dealt you.
Yeah.
But you recognize.
And absolutely. And it's people who feel energy very, very deeply. The high school years are really hard
Hmm,
because it feels like everybody else just breezes through life and things feel really hard. And the way I explain it to any teens that I'm working with, they said, they're working with a 16-piece puzzle. You're working with a 3D puzzle. It's just going to be a different experience.
sure.
And so I tell them to be like the undercover boss. And just because you don't fit in, but you desperately want to fit in. And then you worry, well, am I not honoring my capabilities if I try to fit in and be like them, be like everybody else? And of course, there is no them, right? That's
Yeah.
Nobody tells you that until you're a grown up.
I just got this text. My daughter started high school today, and she's like, "I'm in seventh period lunch. I hate it here. It's disgusting," because she doesn't know anybody, and it's got to be, if you're even slightly in tune with energy, first day of school has got to be,
Rough.
yeah, because there's now all these energies are coming at you. You haven't experienced that in a while because you did summer vacation, right? So it's this whole new experience.
And it makes you feel nauseous, honestly.
Hmm.
It really does, because it's, so much in your gut, because you're just navigating everybody else's energy, and you can physically feel nauseous
Wow.
with that much energy around. And just understanding that that's what it is helps. And I mean, you hear it. I don't want to go to school because I have a stomach ache. That's real. That's real. And so, you
Hmm.
know, cleaning off your aura, which you just keep my little headset down, uh, just with your hands. Your aura is about, I don't know, 6 inches from your physical body. And all you need to do is like brush it off as if you were showering your actual body, and just brush it off and dissipate the energy. Um,
Wow.
and we do that a lot in school too. You can do that anytime.
So
Um,
questions about karma. And by the way, we're
yeah.
talking with Annie Baker Atwood. You can find her at redbootsreiki.com. Karma. Now, let's look at it in the traditional understanding sense of it, where we think if you do the wrong thing, it'll come back to bite you. Is it really true?
No, it's,
Part of me says, oh, and the other part of me says,
yeah, no, I was just talking about this with my sister. And our mom used to say, very Irish, don't uh, talk about things when things are really good, because you will be smoked down. Something bad will happen if you celebrate all of the good things in your life. And I'm not sure if that also is part of a depression era kind of mentality. It may well be, but you don't get, bad things can happen all the time. It's not because of something. So things can happen that are not karmically related. However, they can be karmically related if you are really going down a path that you've gone down 8 times and you keep hitting the same roadblock, the same roadblock, the same roadblock. That's an indicator that you didn't learn that lesson yet.
What if you're somebody who has habitually not really done the right thing? Somebody who was dishonest and just, time again and again and again. Does the karma stack up against them at some point and show
That's a good question. That's a good question. And probably that repeated pattern of being dishonest, not doing the right thing is a leftover from a past life. And you're really needing to learn how to do the right thing. And it may not be achieved in this lifetime.
But will there be, as we think of it in terms of karma, repercussions?
Oh, sure. Sure. If you're dishonest, you're going to get caught. And there's repercussions to dishonesty.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't necessarily mean just getting caught for that, but excuse me, dealing with it. Let's say we always say the karma train's going to be pulling up for them anytime soon. Karma police knocking on the door. Can't wait for that to happen for them.
I know. Everybody wants the downfall of somebody who's getting away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah, come on, because we all try to do the right
we want things to be fair and even and equal,
Right.
and that's just not really life. And it does feel unfair that some people just sail through their life with no issues whatsoever, that we know of. Now, maybe in their last life, that was what they were resolving. So when we see somebody sail through and just, be the rock star, they've probably gone through some difficulty either earlier on in life or coming from a past life.
It doesn't sound, and we have like a minute or so left. It doesn't sound like you believe in the karma that we all associate the word karma with, where if you're,
I view it very differently.
Yeah.
I view it as, go to class, answer the questions that you're being asked to answer. And that's hard. It's a different view of karma. But if you think about it as if you go into your English exam and write all math equations, you're going to fail the test.
let's say you've been dishonest time again, you cheated, you did this, you did that, whatever it might be. Does karma catch up with you? Or,
Yes.
okay, all right. And could it potentially be in the next life? It might not be.
It could be, and it could be in this life too. And the karma train definitely comes down, and it's just curious why that same path is being visited and visited and visited by that person, and that they're not realizing that, it's not sustainable.
Right. And it's not doing the right thing. So you are on the same page. Not that I'm trying to.
Yeah. It's not, oh, I was so happy and then boom, I had a car accident. It doesn't really work that way. But typically, and also depending on where planets are, et cetera, if you are going down the proper path, it's going to guide you. So if we think of, study groups,
Yep.
When you're not understanding something, seek help, seek, clarity. And so that you can navigate the path that is going to feel the most seamless for you.
Well, you're giving another view of karma, which I think is great because it breaks the mold that many of us have, that there is good karma. So,
Yes.
If you are doing the right thing, eventually it'll lead you down the right path. If you're doing the wrong thing, and we all make mistakes, I got that. But if it's habitually and what you're doing or did is what you shouldn't be doing, then karma will eventually somehow catch up, and it might not suit you the best. Let's put it that way.
Right. It'll feel difficult.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We're on the same page. We're
We're just seeing it differently.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm glad you talked about the positive karma, because the majority of us have that view of karma being negative for those who need it to be negative.
Right. And it's doing the right thing, going into class, studying, giving the right answers. And that's not always easy.
I guess it is. A lot of us view karma as punishment.
Right. And I'm trying to help break that mold.
Yes, because karma can be reward.
And just a good flow.
Right. It's another path to take. I'm taking Karma Road. I'm taking Karma Drive. I'm going that way.
Yes, I am taking a path that feels right.
Exactly. Wow, good stuff today. And
I know.
We did that pretty quick. Usually the karma thing might take longer. Always great talking with you, Annie. Now, if somebody wants to heal energetically, and I'm feeling the benefits, and I had just a mini session with you here.
Yeah, give me a call. Look me up on my website. The number's there. Just reach out, and my little widget isn't up yet, so just text me. We'll find a time. We'll hop on Zoom.
Yeah.
And I will charge you up so you go off refreshed.
Yeah. Well, she deals in good energy and good karma. So
I do. I do.
Feel it. It's there. Redbootsreiki.com. Annie, thanks so much. And we'll talk next time. Okay.
Okay. Thanks. Bye.
We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.